Hello lovelies. Well, weather in Florida during October can either go one of two ways. It can be cool and beautiful outside, or it can be hot like summer. And today is one of those hot like summer days. And so there's a couple hives in the yard that I just wanted to look inside since it's nice and warm, and I'm a little curious about them, so I just wanted to check them out with you guys and see how they're doing before the fall and the weather fully sets in and the cool weather. So it's Teddy's bees, which we've done a hive inspection on before. They're in the purple box. I just want to check them out and see how they're doing, see if they've drawn any more comb in there. Just kind of pop the lid, do a light inspection, just a little bit curious. And then the brown box next to them, the little one, that was the hive that had a hive beetle problem, and so I'm just kind of curious. I haven't been in it in a long time, and I'm just a little bit curious about how they're doing in there. And then there's one more in the way front, you probably can't see it from there, that has a big beard hanging on the front. So I'm maybe wondering if they need just a little bit of room. They could just be hanging out outside because it's super hot today, or they could be hanging out there because they need just a couple more frames in there to work on. So we'll check that one out as well. So come along with me for these couple of hive inspections. Okay guys, so this is Teddy's bees. They're real small, and I don't know how much I'm going to go through them, but I just wanted to at least pop the lid and see what they got going, see how many bees are in there, and we'll just see what they're doing. Oh, there's a lizard under there. Okay. Hello, Teddy's bees. Oh wow, look guys, they've got lots of bees. No hive beetles on the lid. Oh, I see a hive beetle running around under this trap here. Oh, away it goes. I think I got it. Okay, so I don't think they've drawn any more comb, but they do seem to have quite a few more bees. Let's just pull a frame, see what their brood looks like. But they look like they're doing okay. They may survive the winter. It's an awfully small hive though. Huh. Let's see what the hive beetle situation is in here. Not too many. Don't know if you guys can see. Just kind of yucky in there really. Alright, so this outside frame still has that tiny little comb they started drawing. They haven't finished it. There's not usually a lot of comb drawn in the fall time. It's usually a springtime activity for the bees. So the fact that they got that drawn is pretty good. Alright, so this next comb, this used to be a frame of honey and pollen. Hopefully they have some honey. It looks like they've uncapped it and eaten it. Ooh, they're gonna be hungry bees. Man, I see Queenie right there on the next frame. Boy, you guys, I think we need to pull a frame from another hive and give them some honey. They're gonna be hungry this winter. The next two frames are brood only. This was a frame, if you remember from the Teddy's inspection, it had capped honey all over it, some pollen around, and now it is light as air. There's a little bit of pollen stores that I can see and no honey or nectar. Very hungry bees. I'm probably gonna pull a frame from a hive behind me because they have no honey. I'm glad I checked on them. They're probably quite hungry. I know that there's goldenrod blooming right now and golden rain tree, and they've got to be out collecting, but we're gonna give them a frame of honey. Okay, so here's their brood. Beautiful. I saw Queenie on this side a second ago. I don't know if she stayed here or not. She may have left to an, oh, nope, here she is. She's right here, right by my finger. Hopefully, Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm not certain. Yeah, so the queenie is right here. Right there under my finger. She's doing a great job. She's got this frame full of brood and the next one full of brood. But let's take that frame out that just got the little piece of comb on it. And I think real quick I'm gonna pop a lid on the hive behind me that I know has a ton of honey and give them some honey, because this is scary that they don't have any food. All right. All right, so here we are, back to Teddy's bees. And now we're gonna put this lovely frame of capped honey, there's nectar, and then there's these capped cells right here. This is drone brood, this is male bees right here. So that won't affect either one of these hives negatively. So we're gonna give them this honey. I have to scooch my frame over a little bit though. It's a little tight. All right, let's see if we can slide this down in there. There we go. I'm kind of messing up some of the drone brood, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. I really just want them to have this honey. I maybe should switch these combs too. I think they'll make their way over there, but I think that I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pull this one out and scoot that honey right up next to the brood. Next week is supposed to be a little bit cool. They won't want to leave the brood. They'll want to stay right on top of it and have food nearby. So if I scoot this honey frame right up against it here, right up against their brood nest, then they'll have quicker access to the food, and these bees here on this comb will move over. There we go. That's a better fit. Okay, so that's how these bees are doing. They look lovely. They have a bit more population than the last time I looked in here, except for they are hungry. So we gave them a nice frame of honey, and we'll check on them in a little while again, another couple weeks, see if they can't bring in some of the nectar that's around now. I'm gonna put their hive beetle trap back in here, just trying to figure out where's the best place. I think I like right here better, although it's winter time, so hive beetles are not going to be so much of a problem for us now. Okay. All right. They're looking good. I love it. They're doing great. So I'm going to put the lid on these guys. I feel way better now that I gave them a little bit of food. And let's move on to this one right here next to them. This one next to them is the one that we kind of shook them out from the hive beetles. They were overtaken by hive beetles. They were left with only 2 combs a couple months ago. And let me adjust the camera so maybe you guys can see. Okay, so we're gonna look in the one with that purple lid on top next. Let's see if we can move the camera even closer. Let's see how this goes. I'm a beekeeper, not a camera person. Okay, let's see. I'm curious if these guys have any food. These bigger hives had stores and stores of honey that we didn't take, and these little guys were just rebuilding, so there wasn't much to rebuild with. So let's see how they're doing. Definitely time to make some more lids though. All these lids are like mushrooms. Starting to get pretty rotten. It is so wonderful to be popping lids and seeing 1 or 2 or 0 hive beetles. I love it. And these guys are looking great. They've actually drawn some comb right here. I think I'm going to be mostly concerned to see though if they have any food or honey or how their brood is looking. So I'm going to start by pulling this frame right here. And I think I might pop my hood off too. It's so hot. And we're not in that mean hive anymore back there either. Okay. So this one just has some comb they've drawn on it, just some little pieces. They look totally dry. Yep, totally dry. Maybe just a tiny bit of pollen. Okay. Oh, they just look like they have no food too. We'll have to find a different hive to steal some food from if they don't have any. So this hive was reduced down to just 2 combs, and I don't know if I've given them any extras. I don't believe I have. So they've done some work. Totally dry comb here as well. Absolutely bone dry. Nothing in it. Hopefully you guys can see. I have to keep checking my camera here. Yeah, okay, so totally dry, very light, nothing in it. Next one looks almost the same. I'm thinking we're gonna have to give these guys some honey too. I'm glad we're checking on them. They can't raise brood, they can't grow without food, they can't live without pollen, nectar, and honey. So we're gonna, oh, so light. So this one has some brood on it. Oh, there's lots of little fuzzy new bees too, light colored fuzzy tiny bees. I believe the queen's going to be on the next frame in. There's a small patch of nectar right here. You probably can't see. It's just glistening right here. There's a tiny bit of food. Next frame is brood. I think we're going to have to find some honey for these guys as well. Maybe pull it from this big hive right here next to them. They don't have anything. All right, let's look at the next frame. Very light, all brood. There's some nectar around in some of these cells. I can see just a little bit here and there, but it's nothing. Nowhere near enough to sustain them all winter. I don't see the queen on here. I had a feeling that she might be on this side, but I don't see her. Good looking brood though. Oh, here's an emerging bee, guys. See if I can hold this. Where'd she go? Okay, let me get close enough here. She's right here, right there by my finger. You can see her little head starting to pop out maybe. Right next to this bee's butt's kind of in the way, but right there, she's kind of wriggling her way out. That's gonna be a newborn baby bee here soon. Where'd she go? Someone's walking right on top of her. She's right here under my finger. So this is a frame of emerging brood. Has brood on it that's starting to come up and emerge. Next frame is the same. I believe it's going to be brood and it's going to feel very light. This hive definitely needs some honey. These smaller ones don't have the workforce, and we had a dearth for a while, so there was nothing to bring in. Yep, beautiful frame of brood. I love the color of these bees. They're gorgeous looking. Next one is the same. All brood. They need food. So I'm going to steal one from this hive next to them. I'm pretty sure that they've got a nice super up top as well. Don't see Queenie. I'm not really concerned about seeing her though. And they've drawn this. This is two kind of teardrops of white comb here, so they're drawing comb. Yep, next one full of brood with maybe just a little nectar. I mean, this one also has, you know, little spots of nectar in between the cells in the open spaces, but they need food. So let's kind of put the brood nest back together here, and I'll come up here to this hive and see if I can grab a frame of honey. They're doing good though, they're growing strong. I mean, this was 2 frames of bees a couple months ago. They are definitely coming along. This is a wonderful hive. Okay, so what I want to do is remove one of these totally empty frames because it has nothing on it, so we don't need to keep it in there. Okay, and I'm going to push this out to the side like so. Oh, I just saw a hive beetle. Let me get it. It's on this frame. Got it. Okay. This frame on the outside is totally empty. Then I'm going to put their comb back in. And then this frame right here is also, it has comb. It's a full thing of comb, but the comb is totally empty. There's nothing in it. So I'm going to push that to the side as well and put the honey right next to the brood. All right, so I'm going to try to sneak a frame of honey from this one up here. Yeah, I'm going to take this frame. I think this is great. Okay, let me get a little closer. So there is definitely a pattern here in the middle where there's a little bit of, I pinched a bee. Okay, I'll leave it like this. So there's a, let me bring you down here. Okay, so there is a pattern right here where there was brood, and there's a couple scattered around here of some brood left to hatch, but everywhere else they've filled it with nectar. So I don't mind taking these like 20 bees from this hive. It's not going to hurt their population, and this is such a nice frame of honey that this hive really needs. So I'm just going to give this a quick shake to shake the bees off so they stay home, and put this frame in here with the other hive. Sorry for my camera work today. This is kind of crazy. Okay, just gonna give them a quick shake. Not too worried if there are a couple bees on here. All right. So I'm going to put this one right in here. It's got kind of sticking out a little bit, so it might be a bit of a thing to fit it. Actually, it's looking pretty good. Okay. Slide that right in there. Very nice. Right. Need to scoot it a little bit. Okay. These bees were hungry. They're already all over it, drinking up honey. Hopefully they can bring some of this to the brood. All right, so this one also needed honey. They're such small hives. They're got such a small workforce to be bringing in a lot of food right now, so it's good that we checked on them. It's good we were able to give them some food. All right, so I'm going to close these guys back up too. We put this nice frame of honey right here. They're already all over it. They were pretty hungry, and now they won't have to worry so much about gathering food. Okay, so I'm going to close them back up. And let's go check that other one up front here. There we go. Very good. Okay, so this next one I want to show you is this double stack right here. Okay. I think it's probably because they're hot. But you guys see the beard that they've got going here? And so I'm curious, is this because it's hot? Super hot today, like summertime hot? Or is this because they need some room on the inside? Also, smells a little funky. I don't know if it's goldenrod honey. Maybe they're running from a hive beetle problem in there. Maybe they aren't so happy, although I don't see any brood. It smells a little like goldenrod honey, I think. Anyway, okay, so let's see why they're doing this. Why are they festooning on the outside? Why are they making such a big beard? I just want to know what's going on in that one. So let me set the camera up. Probably gonna have to pull my veil on because we are next to the beast here, the mean beast, who probably won't like me near them for too long. Okay, so that's the double stack right there. I'm gonna pull my veil up. I'm curious about this one. Let's all pray there's not a hive beetle problem. It smells a little funky, which means hive beetles could be in here, or it could be that goldenrod honey, which smells like dirty gym socks as well. Okay, I saw there's some hive beetles in here. Oh, but they smell good. I don't think they're having a hive beetle problem. There's definitely hive beetles though. But let's see, let's figure this out. They are full of bees, right? There's bees all over the front door and each one of these frames totally full. So I kind of feel like they need some room, but I'm just kind of curious. So I'm gonna pull one of these frames and I'm probably gonna pop this off as well. Let's go ahead and just get this hive beetle trap out of here. Smash hive beetles on it first. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this out so I can pull this box off and see what they look like down below. Tons of beetles in there, oh my goodness. You see this? I am a little nervous that down there they're gonna, in the brood, they're gonna be having a problem. It's been such a horrible year for beetles. I've kind of lightened up on checking them lately just because of the cool weather. And so many are outside. So, but they don't smell bad. They smell good. They aren't angry either, which is a good sign. This is honey and nectar and drone brood. Runny nectar, it's dripping out. It's so hard to see with a veil on. That's mostly why I don't wear one. It's difficult to assess with this thing on. The sun glares on it. I want to be able to see. So. I don't think they're having a hive beetle problem. There's a ton of bees in here. I think they need some space. Okay, so gonna put this back. Whoops, sorry ladies. I'm gonna slide them back in there. curious about the bottom. I'm just super curious. I'm gonna pop this box off and just look. I may not even pull a frame from down below. This is all honey up here and nectar. So I'm just gonna see if I can break this loose. There we go. Oh, it's heavy. Definitely full. They're humming good. Dude, I think this hive is just full of bees. I really think I'm going to give them another box with a couple combs on it. And I think the beast right here next to me has a couple empty combs in the top that I could steal from. They are really, really full. I mean, look at each of these frames. Full all the way to the top, huge beard on top. So, I mean, it's fall time, so they're not going to be growing and growing the whole time, but I feel like they could just use a little bit of room. I feel like another box is probably not going to hurt them. I'm really curious about one of these frames, though. Let's try to pull one of these and see what we get here. So many bees. Actually, I'm not going to pull any frames. I am just going to put this back on. And go get them another box. Because I think these don't really match up either. Okay. I think they need another box. So I'm going to go grab one real quick. And we'll give them some more room. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go grab a couple more frames. I didn't grab enough. But I've got another box here for this hive that just has an insane population right now. And maybe in the winter I'll have to reduce them a little bit. But these hives that have such big population are bringing in nectar right now. So it's my little hives that have to stay back and raise the brood, and they just don't have the workforce to bring in the nectar. But these big hives and these hives with all the population in it are really doing quite well. I'm gonna have to run and go get some frames. I'm gonna pull 2 combs from the beast next to this to put in here. So I'll need 2 combs to 2 frames to replace those combs, and 1 more frame for here. So, all right. So I got some more frames. We got 3 empties in there, and I'm gonna pop the lid right here on this big beast. I know the top is full of just some empty combs. The last time I went in there, they weren't bringing in much nectar, and this whole top was a little smokier. Forgot about the smoke part. These guys are kind of mad sometimes. One hive beetle here on the lid too. Okay, so probably just gonna pull these 2 outside frames so I don't have to scoot them in. I feel like even this hive is bringing in some nectar too, though. But this is a very dry comb. Hopefully they don't make me put my gloves on, because I don't want to. Difficult to get in here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, dry comb. Completely dry, but this will give space for this big hive here. So I'm just going to move them straight over. And if they need to put honey in here, like move honey up from the brood nest and pull it up to here. Oh, this is an empty comb right there, or empty frame, so leave it and pull this next one out. This is also just a totally empty comb, nothing in it. They won't mind me taking it. And I'm going to move it over here to give them some space. Okay. Oh, I've got bees crawling up everywhere. Okay, there we go. So I've got these two empty frames. Pop them in here, close this up. These guys have the workforce to bring in honey. I'm sure there's nectar and honey down below this. I'm not worried about them. And they definitely don't need any room. They're not really even up here in this upper box. Oh man, this has always been really hard. There we go. Okay. Job done. So put the lid back on these guys. We took a couple empty combs from them to give some space to this hive next. So these guys are good. The beast is fine. They're just going to slow down for the winter, and they'll pick back up in the springtime with making lots of brood and stinging me every day. Okay, and then we just gave these guys a whole nother box. You can see already, look, bees already coming up from below. They're probably going to move honey up, give Queenie some more room to lay down below, and use that space I just gave them. I'm curious to see if tomorrow they even have a beard on the front of their hive, or if they bring their whole population in to work on those two combs. Alright guys, check out that beard. It's amazing. I love my bees, and I love you guys. Thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing. It's always great sharing my beekeeping with you. I can't wait to see you next time, and have a great day.